Hi to all, to people that just by the way they stumble upon the video, or to the vandalism people and from vandalism and people that follow me. Well, in general, especially who is following me, you know that more or less, excuse me, that I got a cold, and it also influences my face, my voice. So, people that follow me, especially in the last year and more, you have noticed that maybe I'm talking about voice disorder a little, that I feel. So after I was here in Israel to all kinds of the best specialists, and they say, oh no, it's nothing, we don't see nothing that explains your complaints. And also for the last 8.5 years, I'm really not living. You can say that life is flying by the window, and it's a critical years, those ages. So in the last 1.5 years, I felt that something is bothering me a little. And in the music field, you can have a great voice, but if you don't stumble upon the right people or the right opportunities, the right time, or whatever. And I have known also many good souls. You know how to say this when you write a word and you say those lines. I have known too many good souls, but I mean the opposite, yes, through the decades. And now I'm getting, I'm not so young anymore, and I've decided, I've sent material to a few specialists in the world, and one of them that is, let's say, that is more, his prices are more sane, and he's from Chicago, near Chicago. He's a very specialist in voice disorder. He is a great, well-known surgeon of vocal cords. So I've sent him material. On the 9th of December, I'm flying to Chicago. And this is the trip of my life in some ways. Because I'm going there to check what is bothering me, and let's see if he can help me. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll have to do a microscopic surgery, maybe, but if we will decide to do, I'm sure that he knows what he's doing, because he's doing that from about 82, 83, and he has a voice institute. So what I was in the last few videos, I'm showing that I went to visit a former opera singer here in Israel. He's 65. He already retired from opera. He's doing all kind of lighter things. But he was singing also 20 years in different opera houses in Europe. So he was a pretty good tenor. And he said that his heart is aching, because when he hears my voice, he says, if things were different for you in the past, you could have been a great opera tenor. But he gave me some small things about technique, and immediately it made my voice, it returned a lot of power and a lot of register, it returned the diapason, most of it. But there are still some things that bother me, even now. And that's it. Before not now, but until a few days ago, it's still a voice that it's in a very high level. But I want to check those little things. So what I'm looking for is, if there are any kind of people that have any connections, or Chicago, around Chicago, or when I will be in the States, if there are any kind of people, any people at all, that they would like, or they would think they would like, because I want very much to make a precedent. I want to make a precedent, and I always take the story of Susan Boyle. But Susan Boyle, she had luck. She was in a program, and that program was Simon Cowell. And there are a lot of female singers, much more greater than her. But she's nice. She's very nice. But I cannot compare myself to her. I just can say that as a vocalist, I am a lot more diverse from her, a lot more virtuous voice, and of course power and everything else. So if there is anybody that has any idea about people from the States, Chicago, around Chicago, near Chicago, maybe different place, there's somebody that I would like very much also to tell my story, my life story, my talent, my struggles through the decades, and would like to make a precedent. Because my life story since 13 and a half, 14 was, I passed over also unpleasant things. Those teenage years that they define, and they have a lot of influence of how you will be in the future in many ways. Those years I've suffered a lot, and I went through a lot. And music was always my love. So now I'm trying to do something before it's going to be too late. If there is anybody that has any connection, I would like also to try to make connections with people in music field also in the East, like in the Philippines, China, Korea, Baku, I heard it's a good place, Japan, because my kind of voice, and especially if it will get better, it can be as it was, and even better than it was, and it's the highest level, in more the highest levels of singers from the world. And I remember a country singer, not famous, but an American country singer that we were in touch. And he said to me, when I hear your voice, that was a few years ago, he said to me, when I hear a voice, I don't hear nothing less impressive than, for example, Tom Jones, Roy Orbison, Elvis Presley, Andy Williams, singers in that kind of level, So even now in my situation, when I'm in let's say with that small problem, but like it was a few days ago, there is still in the right time, right position, I can still do, in my age, I can still sing full high C, and maybe here and there to touch higher notes in rather full voice. So this is tremendous, and this is great for such a big, heavy voice. So that's for now. So if anybody has any idea, something on the 9th of December until 27th of December, I'll be around Chicago or whatever. Maybe I can make it longer if something will happen. I'm also trying myself to make all kinds of connections. And what is surprisingly, it's not surprisingly so, but when I try to all kinds of pages on Facebook, like Israelis or Jewish in Chicago, I'm trying to ask for to see if anybody has an advice or something, they can direct me to rent a place while I'm there, or to make connections with musicians or different things. You get a feeling like you shouldn't expect much from Israelis to Israelis. And that made me want to think that, and to say, I didn't choose to be born here. If it was up to me to choose where I want to be born, maybe it was I don't know, Germany, maybe Holland, maybe Canada, maybe United States, but not Israel. That's my personal opinion, because of all kinds of Israelis that I've known from my personal experience. So, okay, that's for now. Thank you. Bye-bye.